No, I think that's very sweet.
Come and tap in with the Jacksons. We living, we learning, we laughing. No capping, we all about action, 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 yeah. Jesus is our main attraction. We glorify him with our passions. No capping, we all about action, 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 yeah.
Tap in with the Jacksons.
Tap in with the Jacksons.
You know we about that action.
You know we about that action.
Tap in with the Jacksons.
Tap in with the Jacksons.
You know we about that action.
Man,
Yo.
what's up, man? We back again with the shield.
Let's just go ahead and keep it rolling because that was a good one. Let's go to myth number 2, Miss Ana Lorenza.
Myth number 2 is that you are going to have sex multiple times a day, every single day. I'm going to give you a story. I have a friend, okay? My friend, I love her. She's a fiance right now, okay?
Yeah.
She comes to me a little concerned. Joanne was out of the house. And so I told her he was on his way back. And I said, now's your time to open up to me about anything you want.
Yeah.
She said, sis, I'm nervous about marriage. I said, you are? I'm like, I'm thinking she's going to be a great wife. Like, why is she nervous? She said, I'm nervous that he's going to want to do it 7 times a day, every single day, that he's just going to want to do it all the time.
Wow.
No, guys, I can't make this up. She was concerned. She had like a little vein popping and everything. Okay. She was concerned.
7, that's crazy.
And
that's wild.
I could
That's
not,
wild.
Your number was
Right.
I could not help myself. And it made me just like, oh, like I just want to hug her so bad. And I was like, sis, it's not like that. Like, it's really
Thanks.
it is not like that.
You'll be good if you get one.
It is so, like, it's so much more than that. And I'm like, I know what, I'm sure he's thinking that way right now. But even him, when he gets into marriage, he's going to be like, yeah, I cannot hit 7 in a day. I promise he's going to be like, man, it needs a break. Okay. And then she's going to be like, man, it needs a break. Okay. Like, it just needs a break.
No, that's real.
You got to kind of like, yeah. Anyway, so that's the myth. And it's so much more. Because even with pregnancy, Joanne has said to me, you know, like we love to be intimate with each other emotionally more than just, physically. Because being pregnant, that was a lot. Okay. Like we were on a good little rhythm, beginning of marriage, you get pregnant. It just doesn't happen. Even in the honeymoon, okay? It was not like how we thought it was going to be. Yeah. But I remember one time I'm hovering over the toilet, right? And I'm just vomiting. And Joanne was like, he brought it to me one day. He's like, where's the romance in that? There's not. There's no romance in that, which is why it's so beautiful that we're intimate emotionally and that we are just so connected in other ways that's not physical. Because there were times where he and I would both have to go long stretches without having sex with each other. And that was a lot, but we still felt like this with each other just because we were emotionally connected and just intimate in other ways. So it's not going to happen like you think it is, Mr. and Mrs. soon to be.
Nah, facts. And I can relate to that. Like, similar story. I thought that I said in our marital counseling, I was expecting 3 times a day. And I'm telling you, I'll be lucky if I get 3 times a week. You feel me?
Our counselor literally was like,
I hope that's not your situation, but it's mine.
Right. Well, dang. No,
but we working on it. We keep it real. I'll be praying, Lord, can I get 3 times a week? Can I get 3 times a week? Lord, please. Come on, honestly, I need something.
Y'all.
It is more of a need for the men.
Right.
No,
but not like from a logical standpoint too, it's like if you're single or if you're just not married yet, or maybe even if you are married, to like for some encouragement is like, again, I always say this, you're doing life with your partner. Excuse me. Your spouse. You're doing life with your spouse. Yeah. Like life happens. There are days that you're exhausted. There are days that you're like there's a lot of things going on. You're busy. And so that's why it's important to have that emotional connection as well. Yes, sex is extremely important. It's a very important factor in a relationship in a marriage.
For sure.
In a marriage.
Yeah. Marriage.
But it is not everything.
We're not condoning sex outside of marriage.
No, we are not.
Marriage.
No, we are not. No, we are not. Okay? Inside of a marriage, it is very important. However, it is not everything. It is not everything. Do you have something you
Our
want to
daughter agrees, obviously.
She ain't manning over there.
I would agree. For me, I don't know if it's unique for a man or not, but I actually don't feel like I can be intimate with her unless we feel good emotionally.
Yeah.
So like I literally like if there's something going on, something bothering me, or I feel like something's bothering her.
For sure.
Oh, definitely.
Like, and it we're willing, like, but it's like for me, I just don't want to like cheapen the connection and the bond.
No, that's good.
That's a good perspective. Yeah.
But what I will say is, you know, we had a pretty good rhythm. It was really, I was good, and literally there is only so much that you can do. Like you really do have some limits, okay, on both ends. But what I will say is, you know, understanding also that sometimes, hey, like as partners, there is a need.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we meet that need, but let's also be like, let's be attentive to each other's needs. Like I know when my wife needs to focus on something else, so that's when it's like, okay, hey, it's a new season. Right now, baby's here.
Right.
We're tired a lot, you know, recovering and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, that's not really the focus right now. But we do have that emotional connection that is there. But
Yeah.
make sure you're doing it though, as if you're married.
Right.
If you're married.
Mary.
You need that. For sure. So does that lead us to myth number 3? That's my bro. He already got the mic. Let us know.
Myth number 3 is that you need alone time in marriage.
Bust that myth, baby.
I'm ready to hear this.
So,
I'm very curious. Please go. Please dive in. In fact, I'm gonna keep this here because I feel like I'm gonna have questions. My introverted self will have questions.
So just to preface, I wasn't a big extrovert, but after a lot of things that I went through, I don't want to say like it traumatized or changed me, but rather it just grew me to learn a new side of myself that is more introverted. I'm completely cool being alone by myself for a long stretch of time. I'm cool with it. I can rock with it. But and we like to be homebodies a lot. But in marriage, it feels like I'm alone with her. Like it feels like I'm alone with her. Like we can just be in a room and that's fine. But it's almost like we're one person. So it's like
It's not almost like
well, it is. It is that we're one person, and it's so unique because like talking to her, it feels like I'm just talking to myself in a way. Like it's like, hey, I can just free flow. And I think that when you can be fully yourself around somebody, that there's no, it's not taking away from your energy. All it can do is either build your energy, or while your energy is built, you build the other person's energy unknowingly, but it's an infinite feedback loop. And so, you know, we're always laughing and talking, goofing off. And I feel like my most meaningful moments with her is when there's no TV going, no phone, no nothing. It's just we're eye to eye, even if we're just gazing into each other's eyes. Like it's, I don't know, it's something that I never knew I could feel with somebody. I will say in previous relationships, and I told her this, I did used to be like, you know, they'd be like, oh, you want to come over? They'd be like, oh, I'm busy. I wasn't busy. Like, I just didn't want to. It felt draining, right? So that's kind of my perspective.
Wow. That's a unique perspective. I like your turn on that. I can most definitely see that. You know, I think that's very sweet. That's very sweet. I love it.
You're doing your best, brother. You're trying so hard to be supportive, and I appreciate that. I really do.
No, man, I love it for real. I feel like, you know, I like that. I like that. Oh, okay. Funny. No, let me say. I was like, I know my wife gonna say something. Good. This how you know. This is real community, man. Just cause my fault, man. This how you know this real community, because they know when I'm like, okay, you know, that ain't me, but that works for y'all. And so yeah, I feel like this is a great point to know. Let everybody know every marriage is different. All right, and of course we know every person is different. All of us are so built uniquely different, and then every marriage is different too. You know, so something that may work for a couple, you know, a good, great, godly Christian couple that you look up to may not work for another great, godly Christian couple that you look up to.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's real. Like just the same thing. Like it's in parenting. Like I'm sure so many of y'all have heard. You know, everybody and their mama give you parenting tips when you become parents. But like I really appreciate one guy who told me at a former church we were going to. He was like, "Hey man, this works for us, but it's probably not gonna work for you." And I was like, "Bruh, I respect that 100% because like." Everything ain't gonna work, you know. So what works for, you know, same thing sometimes in marriage, you know, like what works for another couple may work. I just feel like, you know, me and my wife, we've been married about 5 years and over 5 years, and I do enjoy that love, you know, that encourages me to go like, oh, let me just go be alone with my wife just even more, you know. It encourages me to do that. Sure. But then also I just know that our personalities. You know, sometimes we both get drained and we need to do things that fill us up, you know, and I feel like, you know, that could be something that you find out that something might change for y'all. Like, as you know, I mean, of course, y'all have times where y'all separated, you know, like in y'all marriage, even though, you know, you know, you're not together all the time. Right. Exactly. So I feel like there's healthy things that you can do in a marriage that's healthy, that's self-care. You know, I do believe we all, even in marriage, that you still need self-care. Me, especially with somebody that's dealt with like mental health and stuff like that. You know, I know sometimes I need to get away and go to the gym, you know, or I need to get away, listen to music. Me and my wife, we have different tastes in music and different things like that, and different things that rejuvenate me where something else something different may rejuvenate her. But I love, all in all, I love that, bro. Like I'm not here to say that's not. I
want to say I love that perspective. Like, and I want to incorporate that more because when I think about it, I'm like, that is true. My husband doesn't really drain me. Like, I love like when we take car rides together.
She don't drain me. You don't drain me, baby.
Appreciate it.
Gotta put them brownie points in there, my brother. You know,
he's trying to build up for tonight. What do y'all think?
Amen.
Does he have enough points yet?
For real, let me know.
I'm kidding. But no, like, so like it makes me want to like value and cherish those moments even more. Or just come. It's not that I don't value and cherish them because I do. I think come with a different perspective or come with this new added perspective. But I can say for me, as I'm thinking about it, I don't know if there's ever been anybody in my life that I didn't need to take a break from. Like, and it's not that there's anything wrong with them, but like for me personally, my social battery does genuinely like,
sure.
Once
like after y'all leave tonight, she's gonna be like, baby, I'm social out.
Yeah. But at the same time, I love the perspective of like valuing, like when you find that person, like, cause that is a very true point. When you find that person, like, and this is true for us, like there's moments where like when our social battery has gone, we can sit in the same room and we have the understanding of like, hey, we need a moment, but we're sitting right there on the couch and maybe we're scrolling on our phones, but we're still there with each other. Like we're in the same space together and we can coexist together. But there's other people who, if we were sitting there, I'd be aware of them and like it would stress me out. But with my husband, like, And so like, I love that you said that because like, even though it may not be 100% true for us, there is still some truth there to it. And so I do want to acknowledge that. So.
Most definitely.
Pass the mic.
I am one with my lovely husband. And I did not think I was going to be this way. I don't even know if y'all can see it, but we're even touching feet right now, okay? I just love my husband so much. We are touching toes.
Come on.
We sure are, okay? Anyway. I really... not the claws. Oh!
Right.
Got the dogs out. Okay.
Cut that.
No, it's time for my husband to cut his toenails. It's actually a real thing. But it's time. I did not think I was going to be like that, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of things where in marriage, I'm like, I did not think I was going to be like that, but I am that way. I did not think I was going to be wanting to be so like, I just want to be with Jawan all the time. It is so much to the point where I keep talking about it, you know it, but they sell a shower rod where you have the shower head here and a rod that goes across and another shower head. Cause I'm like, we should just shower together. Like we should just do everything together. Like we really should.
I love it.
We get up extra early just to have breakfast together. We have dinner together. We sit down at the table. We don't have our phones out. We talk.
I love that for real.
And like,
don't lose that.
Even praise God. But even like when twice a week he goes to his kendama jams, and it's like where they just like they meet up, they play with the kendama, and like it's just fellowship for them. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pack Hefzibah up. We're gonna all go together. And there's just things where even I went out for the first time without Joanne and Hefzibah. Guess what? He dropped me off for this birthday dinner, and he stayed right around the corner for me. And I stayed there for 40 minutes max. Because I'm like, I just want to be with Jawan all the time. Awesome. I did not think I was going to be like that. But even like at night after we've had dinner and everything like that, I'm ready to be in the same space. Even if I'm exhausted, even when he's exhausted, I'm just so ready to just.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I love
it.
And I will say, I'm going to keep it short, but like that is, I think, something that contributes to it is that she is always willing to do what I'm trying to do, and I'm always willing to do what she's trying to do. So it's a give and a take, and we're always trying to like put each other first. So again, that kind of helps that, because you're absolutely right. Yeah, there are things that you need to do to rejuvenate, and we allow each other the space to do that. But it's just kind of like, man, I could be right there. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's super.
Come make some beats with me, baby.
Actually, low-key, I think that'd be kind of cool because I don't understand how your brain sits there and thinks like, ooh, I'm going to put this beat here. Ooh, boom, boom, pop, da. But what? Like, I don't understand how you do that, obviously. Yeah. Obviously.
Nah, but that's good, y'all. I love that.
A little bit of context for people who think that we don't know what we're talking about. I just want to really solidify. We spent so much time together, like when I was working from home, and it was like on my breaks, I'm still coming to see her. Like we could be with each other all that time. But again, like he said, I do acknowledge that I feel like our marriage is very unique in that, like some of the things that we have just like that.
But I want to add to that and say like, I cannot think of a time genuinely off the top of my head where I was ever just like, I need a break from my husband.
Right.
Like,
right.
I need to like, I need some time. Like, I mean, unless I was just like, mad or annoyed at you. Like, I mean, that's different though. But like, right. Yeah, but there's never a moment where I'm like, ooh, I've just been around him a lot. Like,
well, I gotta ask a hot question.
Okay.
It's like she had, do y'all ever fight?
We don't like to use the word fight.
Okay.
We do have strong conversations sometimes where we have to really unpack some things, and we have to try to understand why I have to understand why he's thinking the way he does, and he has to understand why I'm thinking the way I do. And it's just an unpacking and really trying to figure out what's our conclusion here, and having to remind ourselves that we're on the same team. He's so much better at reminding me of that than I am, just because of my past and everything like that. And he's really good at saying, Anna, no, we are on the same team. So that's kind of my perspective, but you guys.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we've definitely had those moments where it's like, oh, that's not like the free flow right there. But
right.
Again, I think a part of being a emotionally intelligent person is knowing that and acknowledging it and saying like, okay, in this very moment, there's really nothing that you can do. Like I've had to learn that she's an internal processor and I'm a verbal processor. She needs to sit there and think about it. So I enable her to do that by saying what I feel like needs to be said so that she can process it. And then I give her that space, whatever that may look like that day. Sometimes for me, if I know, ooh, I'm feeling very emotional right now, I may remove myself so that I don't feel tempted to verbally process at her, so I may do that. But I think I do want to point out what you said is a huge key and you just gave me perspective, is as long as y'all aren't feeling like, man, I need to get away from my spouse, that to me is healthy, right? If you're not feeling that, but you're just like, oh, I'm just over here doing my thing, to me, that's healthy. It's the thing that I think is wrong is when someone's like, oh, I need to get away from him. And you hear people in the world talking about, oh, I can't stand him. It's like, whoa, or I can't stand her. Yeah. That's a problem. Right.
And it's something that needs to be addressed. That's not necessarily to say that your marriage needs to end. It just means that there's some things going on in there that needs to be addressed and taken care of. But
for sure.
Can I say one last quick little thing? And when we do come back, because and I'm learning myself too. I'm really learning. Oh my gosh, I really am an internal processor. When we do come back, we always are like, we've had our time. Okay, we've sat with the Lord about this. And so we come back real kind with each other. And we never let each other, like we do not go to bed angry. That's one thing that we have been really good at. And we always kiss each other goodnight. Always, always, always. And kiss each other good morning. But yeah, I'm really appreciative
that, man,
about
for
that.
real.
I love you.
And this is the great thing. This is what I love about this, man. Like, no matter where you're at on your journey, you can always learn things. So even though they've been married, how long now?
A little over a year.
Yeah, it was a year in March.
They just celebrated a year, and we've been over married 5 years. And like, it's certain things I'm like, okay, I've learned from them, and I need to put into practice. And so, never stop learning, man. Mm-hmm. And hearing wisdom. Like everybody got wisdom. Everybody got a different story, different experience, and
you can learn something.
You can always learn for sure. So speaking of learning, let's learn about your last myth, my beautiful wife.
Alrighty, so. I've been waiting for this. The myth is that marriage equals happily ever after. And what I mean by that is, let me explain. Okay.
We got disagreeers in here already.
I know. The lovebirds. Let me explain. So what I mean by that is like Hollywood, Disney, romance movies and novels have all painted this picture of like, there's a single person who's like sad and down and like their life has this gaping hole. And then in swoops Prince Charming or Superman or like perfection, male, female, whatever, perfection. They fall in love. They run off into the sunset, and they live happily ever after the end. Life is not like that.
Facts.
When you get married, it's actually the start of the book, not the end.
Preach.
And I think that's something really hard for a lot of women to understand, because I've heard a lot of women talk about, oh, I cannot wait till I find my man. I cannot wait to get married so I don't have to do X, Y, and Z, so I don't have to deal with these problems, da-da-da-da. And like, yes, in a sense, like your man should like fill certain parts of your life, but I just want to clarify that your man will not fill everything. Like you will still have to put in work for certain things. You will still have to deal with trauma. You will still have to learn about yourself so that you can have a healthy relationship. You will have to put in work and make effort so that you don't go to bed angry. Yeah. Like y'all don't just not go to bed angry because you live happily ever after. No, you go to bed not angry because you stay up and you've committed to not going to bed angry. You, what else were some of the other myths? My brain's blanking, but you.
The lust, sex.
Yes. Okay. So the lust goes away by you putting in the work to make it go away, by putting, by setting up those boundaries. You may not have sex every single day, all day long, but you work to build the emotional connection and intimacy so that when you aren't together physically, you still have that connection together. So like, I want to make it very clear, especially to women, that we've got to change our perspective and be careful, because I know that was something really hard for me that came as a major shock to me, is because I heard all the time that marriage is hard, marriage is work, marriage is a challenge. But it never really clicked because people never really like broke it down. And I want to do a whole separate episode on this. But the truth is, like, marriage is the start. It's the beginning. And you're literally starting from the bottom and you have to build this life together. And so yes, it can be a happily ever after, but you have to create that happily ever after. It's not just going to happen. Okay. We all have issues we're going to have to deal with and work through. And best believe your partner, your spouse your spouse is going to bring it out. They're going to reveal those areas.
Marriage is a mirror.
Marriage is a mirror. They're going to reveal the areas in you that need correction.
Yeah.
And that can be hard. That may not feel like the happily ever after.
How y'all
My
feel?
wife definitely
Chills?
does that for me.
Right.
You said what? I missed that.
My wife definitely does that for me.
What, being a mirror?
Mhm.
What? No, same, baby. I appreciate that. No, mine's gonna be short and sweet because I agree, and I wouldn't call it happily ever after. I would just call it joyfully ever after, because joy is a constant thing if your foundation is in the Lord.
That's good.
So the joy, yeah.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
It's a choice. The joy stays there. The happiness goes like this. It goes like this. And like I said earlier, he has to remind me that we're on the same team. So I would just say it's joyfully ever after, because marriage is a joy, even with all the stuff. And I've told other people before, I'm like, man, I will pick Joanne up and we will, even if I'm down, I'll pick him up and we will literally crawl through the mud together. But we're doing it. And we're crawling and we're intentionally getting out of the mud. We're not just trying to sit there and soak it and let it consume us. So
That's good.
Joyfully ever after, sister.
No, I love that. I love that. How you feel?
I feel like with how God prepared me for marriage, he just kind of showed me all of what you were saying, like in his own way. And that it is definitely work, but the work can be fulfilling if you're open to it. But I think that the reason that so many people think is going to be happily ever after, this is the end of the story, is because they're only looking at themselves instead of understanding first the purpose of marriage, right? Marriage is a way to reflect God's love for us and his image fully, right? God said, let us make them in our image, male and female. So only when a male and a female come together can we more fully represent God. And to do that, we have to work on those things. And I have to be focused on her. She has to be focused on me. But Hollywood and these movies it's about me. What do I want? I want a guy that will do this for me, or I want a woman who will do this for me, instead of what can I do for that person. And that is why marriages are having the struggles that they have, is because you're going into it thinking, I'm going to take instead of I'm going to give.
Man, y'all give it up. Y'all give it up for the Shields, man. These people, y'all need to write the book. Write the book. Start the podcast. Seriously, the Shields, man. We love y'all, man. Y'all are so wise. For real, y'all are so wise. Like, God is giving y'all so much wisdom and so much patience just with other people and all of that, man. Y'all just carry so many fruits of the Spirit so well, man. But on that last myth, I will totally agree. I agree with my wife. I agree with everybody. What everybody said, that it is work. But I agree with Anna with the joyful ever after, because even on my worst day, me and my wife could got in the biggest fight we'd ever been in, or the biggest unpacking sessions ever, you know. But I still would not want to be on this journey of life with anybody else. You know, I'm still so thankful that God, and I've been telling her that so much lately, because we're going through some rough times, you know, but we're literally crawling out the mud together. And I'm like, I'm so thankful, like, God, that you blessed me with somebody that's willing to crawl out, you know, the mud together. You know, we literally said when we first started this podcast that we're starting from the bottom up. And y'all just gonna see the journey, and that's what we still on, you know. And so, like, it is a joyful ever after. And same thing with children, you know, with all of us being parents now, I'm sure we can say the same thing. Our baby can be up all night crying, giving us the worst fits, the worst blowouts, but like, I wouldn't change a thing, you know. Like, it's such a joy, such an honor, man. And so always I challenge y'all to challenge your perspective on something that we said in this episode, and I think Anna said it in the last episode about, like, growing. What you say? You said something about growing or it's a joy. It's what you're gaining, not growing. What you're
Focus on
gaining.
what you're gaining.
Yeah, focus on what you're gaining, man, and just change your perspective. And so, yeah, and I mean, I think that's pretty much a wrap, man. We love the show.
Good.
Some great stuff, man. This episode gonna be an hour, but it's well worth it. Watch it all.
Yes. Think about what you're gaining in that hour.
No, facts. A lot of wisdom. For real.
Awesome.
But y'all want to say y'all final remarks? What y'all got, Shields?
All I can say is, if you're not following Jesus Christ, it's not too late. Submit and surrender to him, because he's the only way to eternal life.
He took the words right out of my mouth. So I second it. God not only loves you, but he likes you because he created you, okay? Totally perfectly in his image.
Come on.
He likes you.
Reverse that.
Okay.
Tell him to write the book. Come on, y'all write the book.
God not only loves you, but he likes you. Amen. He created you. He likes everything about you.
That's my wife right there.
God is good. I'm going to be real. I heard that from somebody else and it touched me. So I'm just repeating it.
Let's go.
Yes, from someone on some podcast. But
y'all know, man, we love y'all.
Y'all already know. If you gained anything from this podcast, if you enjoyed it.
Wait, I'm so sorry.
Girl, the way you be.
Right.
Yes,
I'm so sorry. Thank you both for opening up your home and your hearts and just this space to have us on here. It's been an honor to be here.
It really has been an honor, for real, for real.
We love you guys so much. You guys are family to us. Seriously, that's not something we just throw out there. And we love you guys. You're my sister.
For real.
My bestie for the restie. No takes his backsies.
Locked in, man. For real. No, it's really been an honor, man. The honor is all ours.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank y'all for taking time. A lot of time.
A lot of
late hours that we're not going to talk about right now.
Yeah.
Out of your day to be able to come and do these last two podcasts with us. We appreciate it. It's been a joy. But yes, y'all, if you enjoyed this podcast, if you want more like it, be sure to like this video. Let us know what you benefited from it in the comments below. Sure. If you've not already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification, because we're coming to you. Facts. Every 2 weeks with new content. We got you. And last but not least, be sure to share this with somebody else who could benefit.
And stay love driven.
Always.
We love y'all. Peace.
Bye.